Hello everybody and welcome to the wineambassador.com. I'm ZANT, the founder. And guess what? It's time for our second Bros versus Pros. Today we're going to discover a really cool wine, Sangiovese. Ages and ages of Sangiovese. It comes from the old country in Italy. And I'm so excited about exploring it today. And you get to hear the bros, the regular people like us, guys and gals, and then we hear the pros who are master somms and winemakers and a master chef and a sommelier. Afterwards, we're going to get to hear from Michael Muscardini himself and describing what went into his bottle of Sangiovese that we're going to be offering to you this month. So thanks and enjoy.
We've set the Sangiovese up as a triple blind tasting. We had one group pull the corks, the second group put them in the bags, the third group mixed the bags up and labeled them, and the fourth group poured them. So no one knows what is in these glasses or what order they were presented. We have 8 Sangioveses. 2 are from Italy. 1 is from Mendocino, 1 is from Amador County, 1 is a California blend, and 3 are from Muscardini. And again, we don't know which are which, so let's go for it.
It's a lot of fun. I think this is great, and I kind of want to only host parties now and have wine in bags so people can judge it for themselves and not have the cover of whether it's a cork, whether it's twist off, or what kind of top it is. I think it's a lot of fun to learn about how to drink wine.
So far, all these wines have been fantastic. I think there's 2 very separate groups. There's a lighter group, and then there's obviously a much richer, dark wine. I sense some of it has cab in it.
Sangiovese is, it's not like the most, like dark red, and I like really bold red. It's hard because then you have to reconsider like your previous judgment when you go when you taste the other ones.
This is all new to me, but I'm quickly figuring out what it is I actually like from these wines, knowing they're all Sangiovese, but a lot of variability across the board. And just in terms of color and taste, I'm noticing that there are certain trends that I like more than others.
A lot of it's starting to taste somewhat similar up front. Pretty hard to decipher. It's much harder to grade the wines than you would think, but so far really good.
You have to be really confident to judge, like to be sure of your impressions.
I've already got 2 picked out that are favorites, but still a few left to go, so we'll see. We shall see.
All right, well, I'm having actually quite a good time tasting through these wines. I'm a big fan of Sangiovese. For those of you that don't know it, Sangiovese is the same grape that you find in Chianti or Chianti Classico from Italy. Get brought over here by the immigrants, planted here. We don't have enough of it in California, if you ask me, and that's why trying to tell the ones that are from Italy and the ones that are not from Italy is interesting. I think I've got my guesses here, and I think I might even be able to spot at least 2 of the Muscardini ones in here, just because I do know these wines and I respect this winery a lot, and I think that they're doing some of the best Sangiovese in America. I judge a lot of competitions, and the fact is, Michael wins a lot of awards at those competitions too, so that's why I'm seeing some good trends here. I also see some earthy styles, and I see some that really just need food. That's what they are. They're not really drinking as great as they could unless you had some good food with it. So not only am I enjoying this, but I can't wait till we get some food in front of us too.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of piggyback off what Chris said about the food. This is, in my opinion, one of the ultimate food wines. Very food friendly, going to cross over with a lot of different dishes. I'm really kind of in the middle of all this right now, so I'm kind of tasting a lot of similarities. Definitely can tell some characteristics between the Italian or the European wines and the American versions. But right now I'm just kind of enjoying all of them. They're all very palatable. But like Chris said, I need to get some food and kind of go from there and really get into this.
It's very fun tasting, having 8 different Sangioveses. That is going to be the challenge of the day. Pick my 3 out of these 8 and do the best I can. And I could be embarrassed, but so life goes. But it's great. Cheers.
here we go. We have 3 winners. They're all Muscardini.
Michael, I'm so happy. It couldn't have turned out better if we'd have planned it.
I have no idea how that happened.
The top
but
3 places
the top three
happened to be Muscardini. Would you have guessed that the Polly got first?
No, I would have, of the 3 Sangioveses I've made, my favorite is Alice. I mean, that's a brand new Sangiovese. It's not a brand new vineyard for us, but it's a new vineyard that's doing Sangiovese. And I love it because it's bigger and bolder. It feels like it's got a certain amount of Cabernet in there. But the Pauly, I'm thrilled. Bill Pauly is a fantastic grower. He's up in Mendocino. Really a surprise. I mean, I can't believe that the top 3 of these 8 were ours.
And the Polly was unanimous.
Yeah, and unanimous.
It was crazy.
It was crazy, really crazy.
So why did you have the guts to start growing Sangiovese? Everyone says don't. There's not enough money.
Yeah, there is, and it's a hard sell or a hand sell. I'll just go back to when I planted my vineyard, the estate vineyard in 1999. They came up and they said, "What do you want to plant?" And I was like, Sangiovese. That was the first thing that came out of my mouth. And then we were able to choose the Brunello or the Sangiovese Grosso clone, and that's the ones that make the really big Brunellos. Chianti too, but the Brunellos must be made with a Sangiovese Grosso. A quick little story though, when I met Franco Biondisanti, who's the king of Brunellos in Montalcino, I met him in 1989, and then came back to the winery in 2005. So I hadn't harvested my first commercial harvest, but was planning, and had been making Sangiovese before as a home winemaker. But when I was introduced to him in 2005, he doesn't speak any English, we're in the cave, and I got introduced by this beautiful brunette. Brunello means brunette.
That's right.
Yeah. So she introduces me and says, this is a winemaker from California who's making Sangiovese. So he turns to me, he's got the beautiful ascot, and he's got all this, the shirt, the jacket, the pants. None of the patterns match, but they all look good together. And he turns to me, he says, "Ma que fa," which means, why would you do that? Why would you make California Sangiovese? Yeah. And I said, I'll be back to show you. And I knew that he wasn't going to taste the Brunello unless it was 5 years old.
Yeah.
So it came 6 years after that, 2011, and brought him some of our Brunellos. And I'm very thankful that he got to taste it, sent me a letter, which I still have in my office, framed. He was really appreciative. I saw him as a mentor and really looked up to what he and his family was doing. Now 4th generation.
And he loved it.
Yeah, he loved it. It was great. So it was really a dream come true.
So why shouldn't everybody keep a half a case all the time?
I couldn't agree with you more.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the advantage of coming to tasting rooms, to be able to taste the wine and you go, oh, this is really good. So go ahead, buy those 6 bottles or 12
That's
bottles.
what I think.
And I say to everyone, because you'll see the outstanding here on the 8, where the 2012s were tasting really good, you should buy as many 2012s as you can afford.
And that's great to know.
Yeah, it's just outstanding.
Jump on the 2012 Sangiovese.
Yeah, because they're just going to soar in value.
I love it. Thanks so much for your hospitality.
Thank you. It's great.
You
Appreciate it. Thank you. Cheers.